Dr. Vijay Bhaskar, Masters in Orthopedics. The which, where, when, how is the most important to know about the bone surgery. Ideally speaking, now the movement is life. If the movement is there, then you can be financially good by earning yourself. Then physiologically, psychologically, you will be happy. So, what are the problems? What are the issues raised in the bone tissue is the most important. So, when you take a proper nutritious diet with the minerals and vitamins and sun exposure, the bone quality and quantity will be maintained. So, you will not sustain any diseases or fractures or untoward issues or problems in the bones. So, what I mean to say is, what modalities of caring you take for your bones is the most important. Early morning sun exposure to get vitamin D more, daily consumption of good calcium products like milk, vegetables, fruits is most important, and apart from that, balanced diet is must to maintain the minerals of the bone. So, the bone tissues obviously will suffer if these quality of consumption of the nutritious diet is not there, then there will be vulnerable diseases. So, when there is multiple fractures or bony fractures which are biomechanically unstable, where the union is most important, where the early recovery is most important, where the best results we achieve, that time we required surgery in bone fractures. Hence, sometimes the natural healing for the animals takes place even if you do not do a surgery, or if there is a fractures to a human being which are undisplaced, might require to do a conservative management like plaster, POP, cast, splints. But the movement is life, you do work and you earn, and your physical and psychological stress will be reduced. For that point of view, you need to sometimes undergo a surgical procedure so that to avoid bedridden and avoid stiffness of the joint and avoid any negligence or laziness, to do his regular job work for his own, to earn his bread, and then he will be psychologically and physically happy. So, certain conservative management treatment can be modified with the surgical so that enhance the day-to-day life. When there is a fracture around the joint will be disrupted. The disrupted joint will have a recovery in a bad manner, leads to malunion or damage to the joints where the recovery will be difficult. Hence, the stiffness and there is lot of joint problems might develop. In that cases, the surgical correction of the fractures in the joint is most important. Otherwise, the joint movement will be restricted and painful. That time we need, around the fractures around the joint, we need a surgery to rule out. The degenerative osteoarthritis is the another condition where the bone and joint will be degenerated. It's because of the wear and tear, like a bearing in the engine. So, that time when the disturbance in the joint is there is the deformity and the pain. When the deformity and the pain is irrecoverable, that means in the stage 1, 2 you can do a physiotherapy, medicines and certain care, but in stage 3, 4 degenerative changes we cannot manage with the medicines and physiotherapy. That time it is necessary to do a replacement surgery. So likewise, in a osteomyelitis or infection of the bone, we need to curatize the bone where the person gets 100% results. Hence, we should, in infection of the bone, we should do a surgical treatment. When there is a spine problem, there is a compression on the root, there is a compression on the cord, spinal cord, there is a possibility of becoming or getting a weakness in the distal part of the body like paralysis or paraparesis. That time it is must to do or relieve a pressure on the root, nerve root, or a pressure on the spinal cord to avoid untoward incidents. Hence, we can avoid the paralysis or paralysis. Then likewise, in a spine, in a bones, in a joint, it is necessary we should do a surgical correction of the bones. Thank you.